In the Meantime with Me and Dave, episode 17, Trump 2016, with their special guest, the real Thomas Mayfield, and stand-up performance by Sean Sinha. And here's your host, Mean Dave.
Alright, that's your smooth talking producer JR right there. Welcome back to In the Meantime with Mean Dave. This is our fourth one. Holy shit, we made it this far, and we'll see if we keep making more. Not sure. Things been going good. Except for one thing. I want to bring this up. After the first few episodes, we have a number of people. Okay, we have a whole 47 subscribers to the Mean Dave channel for In the Meantime with Mean Dave. We've hit 100 views on our first episode, which is episode 14. This is all confusing unless you followed the mythology of In the Meantime with Mean Dave. But we have someone who keeps pressing thumbs down on these episodes, okay? And everyone has their opinion, but it's only one person, which really digs at you when you work so hard as we do to make this show a quality, free product that you can have on YouTube. So, what I asked for you to do this week to snuff this motherfucker out and to render his thumbs down ineffective. If you like in the meantime with Mean Dave, if you like this episode, I want you to click thumbs down, all right? To bury his thumbs down so that his thumbs down is meaningless amongst all of your thumbs downs. So in other words, a thumbs down is a thumbs up for Mean Dave. I want that person to then realize that their thumbs down is worthless, so that then they're going to have to pick thumbs up in order to set themselves apart from the standard audience. A thumbs down for In the Meantime with Mean Dave is a thumbs up. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright? So that way this one person will just get pissed off and leave us alone. Because, you know, it's one thing when you have a whole lot of... And there's people who have been clicking thumbs up, and I'm glad you enjoy the show enough to click the like button on YouTube. But really, like buttons on YouTube are meaningless. Only likes on Facebook count. And I guess some likes on Instagram. You know, those are the things. And Twitter, who cares? Anyways, on with the monologue. We got the monologue here for this week. And read it off the phone as always, because we don't have cue card people. We don't have a budget. We don't have that kind of shit. So, next, let's see. This is the next monologue for this one. I know this country is not racist because if Donald Trump accidentally dropped the N-word on a hot mic, his support would totally go to zero. Or, well, there'll probably be a zero in it. Because, you know, there's a lot of racists that drop the N-word. They even have a lot more supporters. If you placed Trump in a tub by a lake, saying the things that he always likes to say, big, huge, great, you couldn't tell if he was talking about America or erectile dysfunction. Guns kill 30,000 people a year. That's an incredible number. To put that in perspective, imagine 5 Raider home games. That's about how many people die a year. California Governor Jerry Brown says the state is still not meeting its water conservation goals, but I've been peeing in sinks for 5 years. I've been doing my part. And speaking of pee streams and sinks, Adam Sandler's new movie, The Ridiculous Six, is on Netflix. And as you might have heard, Adam Sandler's movies are the most watched films in Netflix's history, which is pretty much the equivalent of pee in sinks. Let's see, I'm not stuck in Antioch. The Republican Party has morphed into a mob of angry white people that believe if you don't actually say the N-word at a lynching, then the act is not racist. And that has been your monologue for this week. In the trash it goes. On with the fucking show and the Ask Mean Dave segment. And we're back with the Ask Mean Dave segment, where again, we have questions from people all over the country sent to me, Mean Dave, asking me all kinds of things. And I answer them as best as I possibly can. So this week we have our first question comes from Kenny in Boise, Idaho, who asks, "Dear Dave, I have unsubscribed from your channel and I reached out to YouTube administrators about having your channel removed, but unfortunately unfunny content does not count as a term of service violation. Do you think you'd mind whipping out your dick or bringing on naked women that are ugly to help violate the terms of..." You know what? Just fuck off, Kenny in Boise, Idaho. Alright? I like my show. You may not like my show. You may not think it's funny. That's what the thumbs down button is for. Okay, actually, you know what? No, thumbs up the show, because the new thumbs down the thumbs down is the new thumbs up for In the Meantime with me and Dave. We're trying to do something. Whatever. Fuck you, Kenny, Boise, Idaho. Tired. Where do you get these questions from, James? This is my producer's. He's the one who gets these questions. So, trying to think positive. All right. Question 2 comes from Tanya in San Diego, who asks, "How many times a week do you wash your hair?" That's a good question. Thank you, Tanya, for paying attention. I do wash my hair. That also doesn't imply that, a lot of times people say I look homeless. That's just, I have long hair and a beard. And if you look closely at my hair, I use conditioner, which means I have access to a shower. I use a hair shampoo and conditioner in one. Most of the time it's Pantene, which is a good one, and I normally wash it probably about 3 to 4 times a week. It's best to do it every other day. Sometimes I'll go 3 days because you don't want to damage the hair follicles. This is just what women have told me. I don't really know this stuff myself, but yeah, that's really what you want to do for healthiest hair. And that was a good question. Thank you, Tanya in San Diego, for not being a dick. Last question comes from Walter in South Bend, Oregon, who says, according to your act, you don't drive. How the hell do you get to all your comedy gigs so you can bomb worse than you do in your own kitchen? That's kind of a question in there, even though Walter clearly has not seen that many of my comedy gigs. I don't bomb all the time, Walter. I bombed a lot when I started, but now I'm actually pretty consistent. I'm good for a showcase comic, aspiring comedian. I'm worth paying $5 to see, maybe 10. I'm not bad, all right? But as to how I get to my gigs, since I don't drive, I usually take public transportation. That means either AC Transit in the Bay Area, BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit, the best public transportation system held together with duct tape and lies. That's a good transportation system right there. I get rides from other comedians who are going to the same gigs. Sometimes I get gigs for those comedians, specifically so I can get a ride with them, but I always believe in the people who drive me to my gigs. I don't like getting rides with shitty comedians I don't believe in, so I have standards. So I don't just get a ride with anybody, because that would just be wrong. And fuck you too, Walter, in South Bend, Oregon. I don't bomb all the time. All right. So now I believe we will be having our guest shortly coming by. From what I understand, this is the real Thomas Mayfield A.K.A. Santa Claus, the real Santa Claus, who will be coming to clear up any and all confusion from our previous episode. We're back. I have it on good authority. We've been contacted by the real Thomas Mayfield, A.K.A. the real Santa Claus, that our previous Santa Claus was not who he says he was. We here at In the Meantime, myself and JR, we had no idea. We were acting on what information we got. We screened all of our guests to make sure that they are who they say they are. And from what I understand, the real Thomas Mayfield will be joining us here very shortly. He could arrive at any minute. And it sounds like him. Come in, door's open. Hello, welcome.
David.
Yes.
David. Naughty. All right? Here, this is for you.
What is this?
It's a cease and desist from my lawyer.
Well, I think, there's at least one person who's going to be happy if we have to end the show, but we did not mean anything by we had no knowledge that the previous person. Yes.
Right. Listen. I saw that episode. Disgusting, okay? That guy was a dime store, flea market fucking Santa Claus. How dare Sean Sinha impersonate me?
Sean Sinha.
Yeah.
So our comedian, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Point
That's
taken.
Right.
Point
That's
taken.
right, yeah. You know, listen, I'm Sean Sinha. Hey, I opened up for Samuel Bain. Yeah. Fuck that. Listen, Sean, if you keep acting that way, your baby will not grow up with a father, okay? I'm telling you right now.
Okay, we had knowledge that it wasn't the real Tom, but our bad.
Yeah,
we
it wasn't. It wasn't.
We know. We were prepared. We had a feeling. We had a feeling that you would be upset, and we took steps to already ensure that because we understand that Santa is a fan of whiskey.
Oh, hey.
There you go. We understand that Santa needs to prepare for next year.
Yeah.
So
Wow, look at that. Holy shit, nice.
Merry Christmas.
Ooh,
and we here at In the Meantime do not condone the use of drugs and alcohol
every day.
except for Santa Claus, A.K.A. Thomas Mayfield. So in that case, that's that. Are we square?
Oh, God, yeah.
All right. Good.
Like a pool table.
All right, good. Just making sure. Actually, it's a rectangle. That's fine. That's fine. We are happy to have the real Thomas Mayfield on this show. We apologize to the Meantime audience. We're not trying to pull the wool over your eyes or anything. But this is the real Thomas Mayfield. I do know him from stand-up comedy, but I also know him to be, again, one of the things that he was trying to keep under wraps this entire time is that he is the real Santa Claus. Please explain.
Well, for past couple of years, I have been Santa, and it's been hard, especially with no sleigh, you know. But I've been doing it. I did get caught, unfortunately, being Santa, and did about 5 years up in Folsom for breaking and entering. I was on the second tier, 5th floor. Yeah, it wasn't fun. But you know what? The good thing though, every year we'd have a game in the joint, and we'd play. Whoever got the shank under their bed, they got to carve the turkey.
That's great. Well, it's how did you be Santa Claus every year when you were in prison?
Well, I was only Santa Claus while I was in there. Unfortunately, I had some other people on the outside.
Oh, so you had help.
Yeah.
Okay. Who helps you? Because I assume, well, like, where does the real was Sean correct in at least portraying that the real Santa Claus resides in East Palo Alto?
He does.
All right.
Yes, he does. Yeah. In a warehouse.
Sean went on about some of the myths. He was making, trying whatever.
He went on about it a lot. Yeah.
Clarify, for your own sake, what are the myths?
Well, first off, they're not elves.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not elves at all. They're little Oaxacans that I get from Home Depot. They stand out there in the front.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, they work hard. Very diligent.
Oaxacans.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Reindeer? You have no reindeer.
No reindeer.
No sleigh.
No.
How do you get around?
I got a 2004 Honda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
All right. So that gets you around the world?
Barely.
All right.
Very slowly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Must be Christmas magic.
It's all the cocaine. Actually, that's what helps.
All right. And what chimneys? Chimneys?
Fuck that. No, I don't go down chimneys. No.
How do you get in?
That's why I got the breaking and entering.
Oh,
yeah, come on.
Makes sense. All right. So Santa's a criminal. Now then, Mrs. Claus. I asked.
Oh God.
Okay. So the other myth is Mrs. Claus.
That bitch?
Yeah.
Oh no. Forget her.
Yeah.
Divorced? Well, I am divorced from Mrs. Claus.
Yeah.
We don't talk anymore.
No.
Thank God.
So does she stalk you on social media?
She stalks me on social media. I actually have to hide my profile.
Oh, okay.
My profile name on MySpace is Saint Nika. Come on, guys, don't break. Come on.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. This is our show. We're allowed to respond realistically to everything you say, real Santa Claus.
And I got to apologize, because last time I was supposed to be here, and that pseudo Santa was there.
Yeah.
I was actually knee deep in cocaine and hookers last time. I
That's
apologize.
okay.
My bad.
Well, now you got some for the this Christmas.
I'm
Whatever.
Deep right now. That's a lot of cocaine. I appreciate it.
That's flour. That's like we hear it in it's flour. It's not
great.
cocaine. All right.
So yeast infection.
There you go. There you go. We're making a cake. So beyond that, what else? When Santa is not giving out kids and spreading joy and cheer, clearly milk and cookies isn't your thing.
No.
What do you do to make ends meet during the year?
Unfortunately, I have to clean carpets. That's a horrible job.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a horrible job for a horrible person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
even Santa has to answer to somebody.
So would you say he was Santa jolly?
After a couple drinks.
Alright.
Yeah, Santa's kind of jolly. Little red cheeks.
Alright. Cool. Well, that's good. Do you have any questions for us, Santa?
When's this over?
That's a good question. I think we're pretty much wrapped up right now. That's been the.
Hey, listen, I need to sign this too. I need it signed. I have to take it back.
We kind of want to keep our show going. I mean, again, I don't want to. This is more an exercise of wills now, because I'm not letting whoever is thumbs down on our show dictate. we're sticking with our guns here. We're gonna keep doing In the Meantime with me and Dave. Fuck you all. Trump 2016. I'm not signing shit. You got plenty right there. That's my signature right there for you. So we're JR. This is your place.
That set me back a good amount.
Yeah, so
really.
that's that comes out of the Meantime budget. So that being said, we have stand-up comedy by the aforementioned Sean Sinha coming up next in the kitchen. So let's get ready for that, everybody. Let's have a round of applause for our guest, the real Thomas Mayfield, coming all the way out from EPA, out here in West Oakland. The real Santa Claus. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and thank you for not taking legal or street justice action.
It's all good.
And we'll be back very shortly. All right, and we're back. In the meantime, with me and Dave, with our comedian performance today by none other than the very funny Sean Sinha. Slap your hand flash together for Sean Sinha, everybody.
Thanks. It's good to be here in the kitchen, performing for nobody, just like every other show I usually do. These are lovely couches. I like being in the kitchen. People think because I'm fat I'm in kitchens a lot, but that's not true. I don't ever cook. Fat people don't cook. That's why we're fat. We eat food that's conveniently handed to us in brown bags. I like how fast food they give give your food in a brown bag. They're like, we know what you're eating is shameful, so we'll hide it for you. That way you can go drive your car to the corner of the parking lot and duck while you eat your chicken nuggets. I have a kid. Clearly, I'm a terrible father. I'm here in this kitchen doing comedy for nobody. Besides this poor cameraman and me and Dave, who's standing in the back laughing at my misery right now. He said I have 3
I'm not laughing, actually.
He's not laughing. He's smiling at my misery, I should say. He's like, you're going to do 3 minutes for nobody.
There's an audience here, Sean.
It'll be just like the layover. Just kidding. That's a great one.
Nobody knows what the layover is, Sean. I'm now heckling you, goddammit. Come on.
I'm getting heckled by Mean Dave.
Suspend your disbelief, goddammit.
Okay, I'm going to pretend like I'm going to make... So, is that what I was supposed to act like? I wasn't supposed to...
Yeah, you were supposed... Yeah, goddammit. You're fucking up the whole show.
Should I start over?
No.
Okay. Well, it's great to be here in this living room. Let me tell you guys, this is a beautiful audience. I have not seen a greater crowd than this since I took my kid to his first church dedication. I rubbed oil all over his body and gave him to Jesus. It was amazing. I basically jerked my son off in front of a group of people with oil. It was pretty much what I do at home all the time, but it was in front of a group of people, and I got away with it. Hey-o. Let me tell you something about my son. He sucks my wife's titties almost as hard as me. He likes to race me. The other day, he was looking at me. He's like, Dad, I am better at this than you. You are not the king of titty sucking. I am the king of titty sucking and drinking milk out of titties. And I'm like, son, let's see about that. And I get on one titty, my son's on the other, and we start racing. And I'm looking him in the eye. He's looking at me in the eye. And we're both calling each other swear words. But not like with our mouths, but with our eyes. I'm calling him a little piece of shit. He's calling me a cocksucker. But you know what happens? He keels over because he can't keep up with me. And he pukes all over, milks all over, he shits himself. He's looking at me with exasperation. I finish the titty milk and I hop on the other titty and finish the rest of that milk. Then I look at him and say, I'm the man. What are you gonna do about it? Legit comedy shows on In the Meantime. I'm not doing shitty comedy shows at the Punchline. I'm not doing shitty comedy shows at Improv. I'm doing the real shows for the real underground fans here on In the Meantime. Look at this. There's people, they're back in the rafters.
And that was Sean Sinha, everybody. Let's have another round of slapping your fucking hand flesh together for Sean Sinha. Talking about titty sucking with his babies and whatever other horrible stuff that we just heard. That's been your episode of In the Meantime with me and Dave, our special guest, the real Thomas Mayfield. And we'll be back next week or next month whenever we film another one of these. Fuck off and have a great day.
And I told my God goddamn story? And what are we talking about again? Come on, Ryan. Can I tell my goddamn story? Being gay is not house. Being gay is not house. Being gay is not house. This is a song you should listen to. Listen to this song.